Hey you guys, so I have a bunch of books around me and I'm going to be reading from different portions of the books, the back covers and things like that. This is a custom video by Jessica. Thank you so much, Jessica. I really am excited about this video. I love this concept. So it's simple, just going through the books, reading some of the front covers, tapping, scratching through the books, etc. Yes, I do have a really big bruise on my hand. It was a dancing accident. I was dancing in my house and I hit something. Super common for dancers. Super clumsy. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to go with this one. Arab Women Writers, a Critical Reference Guide, 1873 to 1999. So, Arab Women Writers, same thing on this side. In the back, I think it gives us a bit more information here. Arab Women Writers. The purpose of this reference guide to Arab women writers in the 20th century is not to extol a woman or their texts. It's rather to document a phenomenon and present it to readers, allowing them to gain a better knowledge of this influential cultural presence in Arab societies. Perhaps it can be a mirror to women writers themselves, allowing them a space for self-reflection as they view the sum total of their efforts, accomplished in a little over 100 years. Certainly, no matter what our evaluation of the corpus of contemporary Arab women writers, their texts, the entirety of the texts they have produced, have added something, be it a different perspective, a new tone of voice, or a distinct sensibility formed over centuries of silence and oppression in a world long ruled by patriarchy. This sensibility has also been shaped by the multiplicity of roles that women play and perform even after they were sufficiently emancipated to go out and work as writers. So that's from the introduction. Gonna kind of pop around here. Let's see. Radwa Ashur is an Egyptian writer and scholar. She's written several novels, 3 collections of short stories, and 4 books of criticism, and she supervised and edited the Arabic translation of Volume 9 of the Cambridge History of Literary Criticism. She is currently Professor of English and Comparative Literature at Ain Shams University, Cairo. So Jessica, I don't have like a ton of books that are like this one, for example, like gives like the story. So I apologize for that. Most of the books, well, these are literally all the books I have. They are kind of not in that vein, so I hope it's okay. I'm still kind of reading from them, even though it's not like stories always. Let's see. Thril J. Gahzul is an Iraqi scholar, critic, and translator. She is a professor of English and comparative literature at the American University in Cairo and editor of Aleph, Journal of Comparative Poetics. She has written extensively on gender issues in modern and medieval literature and is the author of Nocturnal Poetics, the Arabian Nights and Comparative Contexts. There's also a bit here. So it looks like someone wrote something about this. So this profoundly collaborative project brings together the research and literary sensibilities of critics, historians, and writers to offer an indispensable panorama of women's contributions as fiction writers, poets, and memoirists. A memoirist to the Arabic literary arts in the modern era. Marilyn Booth, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. So we'll come back to this in a moment. This is the first book. A section on the inside too, but we'll come back because I want to show you some different kinds of books. So this is by John Grisham. He won't let truth get in the way of justice. rogue lawyer, the best thriller written alive. Ken Follett says. John Grisham. Okay, let's see what this is about. I'm not a typical lawyer. I don't maintain a pretty office filled with mahogany and leather. I don't belong to a big firm, prestigious or otherwise. I don't do good works through the bar association. I'm a lone gunman, a rogue who fights bad systems and hates injustice. Sebastian Rudd takes the cases no one else wants. The drug-addled punk accused of murdering 2 little girls, a crime lord on death row, a homeowner who shot at a SWAT team. But the Arch-Swagner, I don't know what this says. The Arch-Swagner case may be the one that breaks him. Swagner is prime suspect in the abduction and presumed murder of 21-year-old Juliana Kemp. When Swagner asks Sebastian to represent him, he lets Sebastian in on a terrible secret, one that will threaten everything Sebastian holds dear. Grisham is a natural storyteller, says The Telegraph, a giant of the thriller genre. Time out. This is actually a book that I purchased as a gift to someone. I had to ask for it back for this video. It's like, can I use the book that I gave you for this video? Because this is like the only book that actually kind of has a storyline. The rest are like informational. I just don't have very many books. Let's see. Okay, let's go with this one. So this is a really famous author in Egypt, Naguib Mahfouz. Naguib Mahfouz. So this book, Reflections of a Nobel Laureate, from Conversations with Mohammed Salmawi, 1994, to 2001. So he's older now, and he's written for a very long time. I think, actually, if I'm not mistaken, on this cover, like in a fold, yeah, here. Naguib Mahfouz was born in 1911 in the crowded Cairo district of Gamaliel, an area on which he has drawn heavily for the setting of many of his novels. He worked in various government ministries until his retirement in 1971. He began writing at the age of 17, and his first novel, set in ancient Egypt, was published in 1939. Since then, he has written over 30 novels and more than 100 short stories, many of which have been made into successful films. Today, he lives in the Cairo suburb of Agoza with his wife and 2 daughters. The Swedish Academy of Letters, in awarding Naguib Mahfouz the 1988 Nobel Prize for Literature, noted that Mahfouz, through works rich in nuance, now clear-sightedly realistic, now evocatively ambiguous, has formed an Arabic narrative art that applies to all mankind. So Mohammed Salmawi is leading Egyptian playwright and journalist and a long-time friend of the author. Okay, so in one of his regular columns in Al-Ahram Weekly, Naguib Mahfouz, at the age of 89, wrote of his feeling of having reached the penultimate station of his life and noted how it reminded him of his annual journey from Cairo to Alexandria. At Sidi Gabr station, he begins to prepare his luggage, ready to get off the train because the next station is the final one. The celebratory volume published on the occasion of the Nobel laureate's 90th birthday brings together a selection of the more personal, reflective pieces that have appeared over the past 7 years. They reveal a writer concerned, as always, with the human condition, with his own thought processes, and with the craft of writing, offering rare insights into the way a great writer thinks and works. The range and quality of writing is even more remarkable when one remembers that since a nearly fatal knife attack in 1994, the injuries Mahfouz sustained combined with his failing eyesight have made it almost impossible for him to write. But as a man who has devoted his life to the written word, Mahfouz now prepares his weekly articles through conversations with his friend Mohammed Salmawi, who has selected and gathered the pieces in this collection. Mahfouz fans and anyone interested in learning more about the lifetimes and thoughts of one of the major figures of modern Arabic literature will find this volume an essential addition to their bookshelf. Okay, Naguib Mahfouz at Sidi Gabi. It's like reflections, so it's like, it's nice. Okay, so it's like different sections. Okay. So next, this is actually a book about my favorite place in Egypt called Khan Khalili. It's an outdoor bazaar marketplace, and it did not come with the cover, and actually the front and back are just the same like picture. But I'm going to open up and read from it just a bit. So this is the place, if you've heard me talk about it, this is how it's spelt in English, Khan al-Khalili. And the author is this guy, same guy, Naguib Mahfouz, but translated by Roger Allen, the American University in Cairo Press, Cairo, New York. So let's see here. I might just see what beginning, let's just look at the beginning just for a bit here. It was 2:30 in the afternoon on a September day in 1941. The exact time when civil servants left their government offices. Streams of them came pouring out of the ministry's door like a raging torrent. Their minds had long since become preoccupied with a combination of hunger and sheer boredom, and now they all scattered in different directions under the burning glare of the sun. Ahmed Akif, whose job was at the Ministry of Works, was among them. This time of day he usually made his way back to Al-Sakakini, but today was different. For the first time he was heading towards Al-Azhar. He had been living in Al-Sakakini for a long time, stretching back many years, 4 decades in fact. Those many years constituted a veritable storehouses of memories of childhood, youth, adulthood, and then middle age. The incredible thing was that it had only taken the family just a few days to make up their minds to pack up and leave. They had all felt completely secure in their old house. They had never imagined leaving, but then during the short interval between one evening and noon the next day, everyone had started yelling, "A pox on this awful quarter." Fear and panic had taken over. There was no longer any point in trying to persuade scared folk to change their minds. The old house had soon become a memory of the past, and the new house in Khan Khalili was a reality from today and onward into the future. Well might Ahmed Akif quote the phrase, "Praise be to the one who changes things but who never changes himself." So that's the introduction to this book about my favourite outdoor bazaar in Egypt. That's just my favourite place in Egypt, actually. Let's just see here. After lunch, he made his way back to the new quarter, second alleyway on the right, then the third door on the left. He mumbled to himself as he drew closer. As he made his way up the winding staircase, he remembered the young girl he'd seen that morning, the one with the lovely olive complexion and honey-coloured eyes. Would he see her again, he wondered? What apartment did she live in, and on which floor? By now, his mother had organised things in the apartment. He stayed there until sunset, then decided to wander around the streets of the quarter in order to explore and find out as much as he could. He put his clothes back on and headed outside. He paused for a moment by the apartment entrance and looked around him as he tried to decide in which direction he would start his exploration. But before he had a chance to make up his mind, he was aware of someone coming toward him. Turning around, he spotted the person whom he had identified that morning as Boss Nunu. The man approached him with a heavy thread, beaming with pleasure, etc., etc. so no actual real like book descriptions there, but that's okay. A friend of mine gave me this book. It's called Islam, a companion book, and it's compiled by Khalid Fahmy. So I love to learn about Islam. Islam is the religion. It's the name of the religion that Muslims practice, and in Egypt many people are Muslims, and I'm living in Egypt, so it's very important to me to understand what the people around me believe, and it's actually something I've been passionate about for many years, and it's quite a joy to get to love on these sweet Muslim people that I live near. So again, I'm just going to read what it says. I don't necessarily believe everything it says, however, I'm just going to read what it says, just a little caveat there. So, Islam, a companion book, is a factual book about Islam and its doctrines. Distinctive in its approach, it is determined enough to deal with both old and new misrepresentations attributed to Islam. It has been written for ease and reading and understanding for native English readers, yet also to benefit contemporary non-native English readers of the world. This book is a comprehensive and extensive compilation in the relation of the Deen of Al-Islam, providing both a holistic and in-depth view of not only the foundational aspects of the religion in terms of belief and prayer, but also extends into the deeper facets of the Deen and defines how Islam encompasses every aspect of a Muslim's life, including marriage, jurisprudence, and I don't think I pronounced that correctly, and trade, among many other pertinent subjects, and also includes a summarized biography of the life of the Prophet Muhammad, which demonstrates how his exemplary life and teachings, as revealed by God, influences the very characteristics of Muslims in terms of worship, ethics, and morals. This compilation aims to provide the reader with a deeper intellectual knowledge and understanding of the intricacies of Islam as a complete way of life. So, that is what this book is about. Let's see. Khalid Fahmy, Karima, and it's got all the like table of contents and such. Let's see. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim is what it says here. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. And then it has a surah here. All right. Okay, where's our last book? Do I have another one? I think we did it. We did. Oh. Okay, let's bring them back. I really do wish, Jessica, I want to like be able to do this video again with a bunch of books like this, to kind of like, I like the way that's like tells the stories. So I'm sorry again that I don't have more of them, but if I ever get a hold of more, I'll try to do another video like this. So thank you again to Jessica for this custom video. I hope you guys enjoyed a bit. There's like writing in here because I used this in another video. If you know, you know. And this guy here. Thank you, Naguib, Mahfouz. Okay, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and night. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope to see you in the next. Let's bring them all back. Those are my ships in Arabic, or in the language here spoken in Egypt, in like Armenia. It's a kind of local Arabic. Those are called ships. They're my sandals. I thought it would be nice to film this video from a different perspective and kind of cozy on the couch here with the books, because a lot of the example videos that Jessica sent me had a bit of this vibe to them. Okay, guys, Thank you. Bye for now.